Hi, I'm Kristen, and today I'll be talking about the spiritual significance of waves that I've been shown in a dream and various resurfaced memories of when I was around waves, in waves, and messages that were given to me by spirit related to the wave. So a few days ago, I had a dream that was quite traumatic feeling. It was very realistic, and it was just kind of the feeling, sensation, and appearance of being in a very big wave. And so in this dream, there was kind of nothing going on beforehand and nothing afterwards, but it was just me in the water, underwater, as this humongous wave was just crashing down upon me. And so it would be like the size wave that you see in like surfing competitions, like just like really huge. And What I felt was just like this immense pressure that was like on the top of my head, on my shoulders, and it was just like kind of like holding me down really, really hard to like kind of the ocean floor. And so while I was experiencing this, it was absolutely beautiful. It was like turquoise blue, beautiful, sunshiny water. But I could see like kind of the bubbling surface of like the foam and the break of the wave like over the top of me. And so while this was happening, I immediately just had this like strong, intense like fear reaction that came over me, and just like this feeling of like I'm going to drown. I don't know how to get out of the situation. Like I'm scared right now, and it ended up turning into this pressure kind of not releasing. And at that point, I realized like this is it. I'm done for, and I just started breathing. Except when I breathed in, I wasn't breathing in water. It felt like I was breathing in air. And so at that point, I was just kind of calmly standing underwater underneath this massive, huge wave, and just kind of accepting it. And so at that point, then I woke up, and I actually had an experience very similar to this while I was in Hawaii years back. And so During the time that happened, I was out trying to snorkel on this beach on Maui, Hawaii, and there, unbeknownst to me at the time, the beach was like nicknamed Breakneck Beach because the wave break was like directly on the sand. It wasn't in the water, and I guess like a lot of people had been kind of picked up and flipped and torn and like landed like right on the beach, like very forcefully by the water. And a lot of people have been killed there. A lot of people have been paralyzed there. And so while I was snorkeling there, and I didn't know any of that, I saw that there was a really big wave coming in my direction. It was like a rogue wave. All of the other waves that morning were very small, and it picked me up and it turned me around and it smashed me headfirst into the ocean floor. And so when that happens, my snorkel gear, like my like the goggles that I was wearing, they got smashed into my face, and so it broke my nose. It um, After like the wave kept on pushing, it pushed my whole face into the sand of the ocean floor, and it ripped my lip back. And so like that kind of like little flap that you have on the inside of your lip between your gums and your lip, like it completely ripped that completely away. And so my whole lip was just ripped down, and I had to go to the hospital and get about 40 stitches. And so that was really insane, and kind of made me really fearful of going in the water for a while. But the dream that I just had a few days ago, it very clearly, it felt like that, like the appearance of the water when I was underwater getting injured. It was like that beautiful blue sunshiny water. And so when I woke up from that, I didn't really know what the takeaway was. And so earlier today, I was kind of just meditating on it and trying to figure out like what am I supposed to learn from kind of feeling this immense pressure and um, kind of accepting it, and it became like something that I could deal with. And Spirit showed me what was an old memory that I had from here in Maine, from when I was a kid, where I would kind of stand in the ocean water, and there would be like a large wave coming that not like super huge because here in New England on the Atlantic Ocean the waves don't get tremendously large, but the wave was like just over the top of my head height. And so I was shown this kind of like memory of like walking up to this wave and about to like dive into it, and as I'm about to dive into it, it's like the wave just kind of hits me in the face and then keeps going. And then at that point, I'm just like standing on the other side of the wave and like with my head above water. And At that point, it was becoming like a lot more clear of what was being told to me about like the wave and water and acceptance. And At that point, I received like kind of this information that like no matter what it is that you're being hit with in your life, um, it's not too much for you to handle, I suppose. Like nothing is going to completely take you down and take you out. um, so that goes for like my actual experience in life, where I did get like very hurt while I was in the ocean, but it also goes for like these kinds of moments when you're held down by this huge amount of pressure and like this force of nature that's so much bigger than you. Like you're going to get through it, and you're going to be able to kind of look back fondly on it, I would almost say, because when I think back to these memories of um, the waves hitting me right in the face and like kind of briefly putting me underwater before I was back out again, um, I think of it as like refreshing, and it's almost like a touch with like the nature that God has given to us. And um, so I thought about that, and I thought about it in relation to kind of as experiencers, like the amount of information we receive from God and receive from spirit. And sometimes it could be ontologically shocking. And just like thinking like, this is too much. Like, I don't know how I'm possibly going to handle like knowing what I know or seeing what I've seen. Like I've received like a huge past life download, and that was super impactful to me. I've received other downloads that pertain to my personal life that were super impactful. And coming out on the other side of it, you're thinking like immediately afterwards, like how the hell do I integrate this into my life? But at a certain point, like you just realize it's like it's a natural force that is impacting you, and it's going to leave you kind of in a different way than you were before. So on the other side of those downloads and information that's given by spirit or God, or beings, non-human intelligence, you're going to be a kind of transformed person because of what you went through. And so as I continued my meditation earlier today, after they showed me like those memories of when I was a kid, like walking into the waves in Maine, they showed me what looked like an old desolate country road. And so if anybody's familiar with the old Andy Griffith show, I know a lot of people probably aren't anymore. It's quite old, black and white TV show, but I used to love watching like classic TV when I was a kid. So I watched a lot of Andy Griffith. And it looked like an old, dusty country road, just like from that show. And it was in black and white, what I was shown, where it had like the country wood fences, like the farmland fences going down both sides and just like kind of fading off into the distance with like trees all around. And I was given the sensation of like quietly and slowly just like walking through this alone. And I was given like just this feeling that walking this dusty, lonely road by myself was like tying very directly into the wave. It's almost like the wave can carry you a bit, but it's very harsh. It's very hard when it hits you. It's like very jolting, jarring. Um, like when you're in a wave, getting hit by a wave, it's not something that's like calm, you know. um, but coming out of it, you're on still water, and I had like that same kind of feeling walking down this road, that it was still and calm and nothing more would be happening. And um, just like there was a path to walk after that has happened. And so I think the overall message that I was given today and given over the past week by these memories in the stream is just to kind of sit and integrate everything that has happened to you if you're an experiencer or a contactee, and think about how you have become a different person because of it. Again, my face will never be the same after getting hit by that wave in Hawaii. And my kind of respect for the ocean won't change from here on out. And like kind of, I wouldn't say fear of the ocean, but my like admiration for the power of the ocean, it's not going to change after having what happened to me happen. And so that's kind of like the way to think about your communications as well. It's something that did happen to you. It was supposed to happen to you. Is something natural that happened within your spirit, within your soul, and it could happen again if if you place yourself in the ocean, if you place yourself in a position where you can keep receiving messages or keep receiving contact. Like these things are just going to keep coming and happening in waves. Um, but the more that it happens, the more you get used to it, and the more you know how to um, kind of blend it into your life and make it a normal part of what you're living. Um, yeah. So and there's been a lot of other kind of like water imagery that has been given to me, but it's from a very different perspective. So I might talk about that in a different video. I think it's called hydromancy. Is something that they have also kind of called on me to speak about and practice. Yeah, but I think that's it for now. So if you were really struggling with something that relates to your contacts, or even like just really struggling with anything that you've gone through in life recently, I would give the advice to just like really think about riding out the wave. Like it's here now, but it won't be there forever, and it will eventually kind of level out and things will get okay again. um, so thank you so much for listening today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.